everyone, this is Ms. Sanchez, and we are going to solve this problem in front of us using a problem-solving strategy called RUMOR. RUMOR is an acronym where, of course, every letter in that acronym stands for something. We're going to first focus on the first two letters of RUMOR, R and U, and we're focusing on both of them because we do them simultaneously. So the first letter R is read and reread the problem, and the second one, underline important information. We are going to first read the problem straight through, and then we're going to reread the problem for a second time, this time looking for important information to underline. So, in scalene triangle ABC, the measure of angle B equals 45, and the measure of angle C equals 55. What is the order of the sides in length from longest to shortest? So now I'm going to reread the problem, this time looking for important information to underline. So in scalene triangle ABC, I'm going to stop and underline the word scalene. Why? Because it's a vocabulary word. That vocabulary word tells me things about that triangle. Scalene means that no sides of the triangle are equal to one another. So that may be important later on. The measure of angle B equals 45. I want to go ahead and underline that, and also underline the measure of angle C is 55, because this is giving me additional information about the triangle I have in this problem. The last part of this prompt is the question sentence. Always underline exactly what is being asked of you in the question sentence. So what is the order of the sides in length from largest to shortest? I'm going to underline the word order, sides, longest to shortest. I'm going to underline order because it's letting me know what am I doing. They want me to apparently sort the sides, and and leading into that, what am I sorting? The sides. So I don't want to confuse myself later and maybe order the angles. So I'm ordering the sides. And how do they want me to order them? From longest to shortest. So those three things are very important in order to make sure that we solve this problem correctly. Okay, I've reread my problem. I've underlined the important information. Let's move on to M, which is mark and label information given and what you already know. So in order to mark or label up anything, we need a diagram to mark or label that up. So we were talking about a scalene triangle, ABC. All right, it told me that angle B was 45, and that angle C was 55. And what is the order of the sides in length from longest to shortest? So there's nothing I can label there, so I want to move on and label, if any, information that I already know. Okay, I have a triangle where I'm given two angles of that triangle. I'm missing that third angle, angle A, and I actually know how to find angle A. I can use the triangle sum theorem. I'm going to add up the two interior angles of that triangle, and then the sum of those two interior angles, I'm going to subtract it from 180 to get that remaining angle, because I know that the three interior angles of the triangle add up to 180 degrees. So again, what I just did there was I added up all three angles and set them equal up to 180 because the triangle angle sum theorem tells me that the three interior angles of a triangle, of any triangle, adds up to 180. I plugged in 45 for B, 55 for C, and then solved for angle A by combining like terms, which were 45 and 55. That gave me 100. And then isolating angle A by moving 100 to the other side. Since that's a positive 100, I want to do the opposite to remove it, so I subtracted 100. 180 minus 100 on the right side of the equation gives me 80. On the left side of the equation, it cancels out, and therefore angle A is 80. Since I found angle A, and this is information I knew how to find, I want to go ahead and label angle A into my triangle. Okay, I think I've exhausted all of the piece of information that was given to me, the piece of information that I already knew or knew how to get. I think I may be ready for step 4, which is the operation, deciding on a strategy to solve the problem. So, step 3 is crucial because it lays out how to get step 4. I need to sort the sides. And again, I remember in the beginning of the problems when I said I make confused and want to sort the angles. So I know I need to sort the sides, but I have the angles. I also know that every angle has an opposite side that corresponds to it. And every angle with its opposite side, well, I should say the measure of that angle with its opposite side is also going to have some kind of corresponding relationship as far as if I'm looking at the biggest angle of a triangle, its opposite side should also be the biggest side. So let me give an example of what I'm talking about. Let's consider two clocks. On the left, I have a clock that reads 3 o'clock, and on the right, I have a clock that reads 1 o'clock. The 3 o'clock clock has an angle measure of 90. While the 1 o'clock clock, I don't have a protractor to measure this, but I can safely assume that it is an acute angle because it's less than that L shape that a 90-degree angle makes. So I know that an acute angle is an angle that's less than 90. So that's the most important part. Now, if I consider the length between the minute hand and the hour hand of both of these clocks, the clock on the left, 3 o'clock, has a bigger length than the 1 o'clock clock. And that should make sense because the 3 o'clock clock has a 90-degree angle, which is bigger than any acute angle. So it makes sense that the clock on the left, the distance between the minute and the hour hand, should be greater than the clock on the right, since the clock on the right has an angle that's smaller than the clock on the left. So I want to use that same concept. I want to use the concept that the biggest angle in a triangle should always have the biggest side. Well, the opposite side of that angle should always be the biggest. They should correspond in such a way. So since I need to list them from biggest to smallest, I'm going to focus on the biggest angle in the triangle that I have in this problem. It seems that the biggest angle is angle A. 80 is bigger than both 45 and 55. So now I need to determine what is the side opposite. It's pretty simple determining the opposite side of an angle. You want to go ahead and start at that angle, put your pencil or pen at that angle, and basically draw an arrow out. And wherever that arrow meets, that is the side that's opposite that angle. So from angle A, I drew an arrow straight out, and that arrow met with side BC. So BC is opposite angle A, and since angle A is the biggest angle, that means side BC is the biggest side. And since I'm listing from biggest to smallest, I want to now move on to angle C because 55 is greater than 45 and determine what is the side that is opposite angle C. Again, I'm going to start at angle C, draw an arrow straight out, and side AB is opposite side C. So there's only one angle left and also one side left. So by default, side AC is obviously the smallest side, since it's the last remaining side. So I'm done with my operation. I want to recheck for reasonableness to make sure my answer is reasonable. Since this is a multiple choice question, you should check your answer with the multiple choice options and see if you can find your answer there. If not, check them to see what error, if any, you made, and also analyzing what makes this answer reasonable or what makes the other answer choices unreasonable. So let's see. Choice A says side AB. I should go ahead and eliminate that because I know that the biggest side in my answer choice is BC. So side BC is definitely not the same as side BA. So I can go ahead and eliminate choice A since it's listing side AB as the biggest side. In actuality, side AB is the smallest side because that's the side that's opposite angle C. Excuse me, it's not the smallest side, it's the second biggest side, or we could say it's the middle one because it's opposite the middle angle, 55, which is in between 45 and 80. So let's go ahead and cross that out. Okay, choice B starts off with BC, so that's good. And then the next side after BC is AC. I have AB, so that does not match up. Therefore, that can't be the answer. If you take a look at side AC is opposite angle 45. Angle 45 is the smallest side, smallest angle. So therefore, AC should be the smallest side. So it shouldn't be the middle side. It should be the very last side. So we can go ahead and eliminate choice B. We can eliminate choice C for the same reason we eliminated choice A. The leading side, which this time is AC, is not the biggest side. It's actually the smallest side. AC is opposite angle B, which is 45. 45 is the smallest number. Therefore, the side opposite, side AC, is also the smallest side. So we can go ahead and eliminate that. That leaves us with D, the only option left. I'm just going to check and make sure my answers match up. BC and BC, AB and AB, and AC and AC. If for whatever reason when you were solving the problem, and let's say that instead of writing BC, you wrote CB, don't fret. If you take a look at the triangle, if you put your finger at B and trace over to C, and now put your finger at C and trace over to B, you are tracing over the same exact line segment. So whether you call that side BC or CB, you are in fact talking about this very same side. So don't fret if those letters are reversed. You're still talking about that same side. All right, so there you have it. The answer is D. There you go.